Alright guys, today we're talking about 4V. This is Kurt's Manix. It was on the factory edge when I got it. I did run this on the second edge, and then I sharpened it a couple more times and then ran the test and verified it a few edges in. So we're going to talk about all three of those. And the 4V Para 3, I did run this one on the very first sharpening to see what it would do back when I got it around the time they came out. And since then I've used it quite a bit, put plenty of edges on it. I did test this again and verify it. We'll go ahead and talk about how this did. Also during, comparing the very first edge to the edges afterwards. So we're going to go ahead and watch the cutting. We'll come back and talk a little bit about 4V. We'll talk about how these two did, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, now that we watched the cutting, let's go ahead and talk about 4V and how these both did in testing. 4V is a powder metal tool steel. It's made by Crucible. It has high impact toughness and very good wear resistance. 4V is used to process high strength, low alloy steels and advanced high strength steels. It's also used where you need a combination of strength, wear resistance, and toughness that you are not going to be able to get from 3V through the hardness of the steel. You can read all about it on Crucible's website. Tons of information on it on the internet from reputable places. So let's go ahead and talk about how they did, and then I'll talk about my use experience with the Para 3 a little bit. So Kurt's Manix here. Like I said, I tested it on the second edge. The first edge, I just went ahead and sharpened it. I did my normal prep on it. Sharpened it again and ran a test to see where it was. And on that second edge, and for those of you that don't know, 15 degrees per side on both of these, finished to 1500 grit, dropped on 6, 3, then 1 micron, 5 passes per side. And the second edge just did 239 feet fine edge and 348 feet working edge. That's really good. It's a little bit more, obviously, second edge, a little bit more than what the Para 3 did on the first edge. Remember, got to get rid of that overheated and fatigued steel. So I went ahead and sharpened this a couple more times, and I came back to it on the fourth and fifth edge. And on the fourth edge for the Manix, I got 245 feet fine edge and 368 feet working edge. Absolutely great performance. Went ahead and verified it. 244 feet fine edge and 369 feet working edge. And you can see there's a divot right there where this was tested at Peters. And you can also see where Kurt tested it. And I believe this was 65.3 two times and 65.5 one time, or so, something like that. It's about 60, low 63 to low 65 to 65.5. So we'll move on to this one. And for those of you who don't remember, or because I did it well over a year ago now, on the very first sharpening of this one, it did 217 feet fine edge and 316 feet working edge. That was straight out of the box, sharpened it, ran the test, that's what I got. Did go ahead and use it quite a bit after that. I had meant to just go ahead and get the testing out of the way. It didn't work that way though. So I did finally get back around to it. And this would have been tested on edge 6 and 7. I don't expect it to get any better. I don't expect the Manix to get any better. So the second test on this, 244 feet fine edge and 366 feet working edge. So quite a jump from the first edge to the sixth edge. Went ahead and sharpened it again, same way as for all the testing. Yes, 4V, the 1500 grit edge on 4V does look like it is quite polished. It is indeed 1500 grit, kind of the same way M390 comes up really shiny, even though it is only 1500 grit. On the verification, I got 241 feet fine edge and 364 feet working edge. This was also tested by Kurt. It's really hard to see. Yeah, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it. It's right there below the Eric's Maker's mark, by that little arrow on the end of it. But this was 65. I know he's done a couple more of these since then. Kenny's was also 65, and I believe he did one other. But they're all right around 65. So great performance from 4V. One of my favorite user tool steels for what I do. Gives me edge retention close to that 62 HRC M390, but I feel like I don't have to worry as much with this and what I do with it. Haven't had any chipping problems, rolling problems, or anything like that. It's done great. I will, not too long from now, I'm going to talk about quite a few different tool steels. And that post that Sean had made about which was your favorite Spyderco tool steel, he had K390 Maximate M4 or K390 Maximate Cruair and Rex 45. Had this one been in there, hands down, it would have been 4V for me. It wouldn't even had to have thought twice about it. Probably my absolute favorite tool steel right here. Thank you, Kurt, for sending the Manix along. I really do appreciate it. Should have picked one up for myself way back when I had the chance many times, and I didn't. It's an awesome knife. It performs really well. I am glad I have this one. But that's how 4V did. If you guys have any questions, you know the drill, put them down below. I will be doing K390 very soon. And we'll be talking more about the 3V on the bailout. And Maximate and Vancron are also coming up very soon. Got plenty more tool steels coming. So keep an eye out for that. That's all I have. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.